life.
Very much. Richard Drax.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. It's a genuine pleasure to follow my honourable friend from Penistone and Stockbridge and listen to her excellent speech, as have all the speeches been, I must say. And may I thank my honourable friend from North Devon for getting this excellent debate. And I see that two of my colleagues from Dorset are here too, longing to speak, so no doubt we'll have a similar message to give to the Minister. And it's nice to see him in his place. And may I target this 7 minutes at him specifically, and the Treasury even more so, and this will be on the levelling up bid that we have now done once and we are now hoping to do again. Mr. Deputy Speaker, can I conjure up the picture of a cake? I like a chocolate cake, because that's my favourite. At school, when we had birthdays, a cake used to arrive and the teacher used to cut up the cake into the appropriate slices. My eye always fell on the slice that was slightly bigger because the teacher slightly got it wrong when he was trying, or she were trying to divide the cake. And we always hope that we get that slightly bigger slice. The point I'm trying to make, and of course you've got the smaller one, the point I'm trying to make is cutting up the cake is incredibly difficult and the government is facing all kinds of financial problems right now. But what I would ask for on behalf of South Dorset is at least a slice of this cake. I don't want all of it. I don't want half of it, but for my constituents, can we please at last have a fair share of the cake? Because we've lost out again and again and again and again. And whilst it's true that Dorset as a whole is relatively prosperous, which it is, the perception masks significant pockets of deprivation. Weymouth, its largest urban area, hosts some of the most deprived neighbourhoods in the county. My South Dorset parliamentary constituency, of which the vast majority of my constituents are residents of Weymouth and Portland, is ranked as having the lowest level of social mobility in the country. Now, huge efforts are going in to try and improve this. We're trying to attract more businesses, to raise the incomes and salaries and expectations and aspirations and education. And we've heard about buses and broadband and all the other things that I entirely agree with. What I'm asking the Minister for is just for a little bit of money so that the private sector can invest on the back of the investment by the government. We know the government can't spend or give us all the money that we want. It's just going to be impossible. The country will be even more worse off than it is currently now. What we want is enough money to try to attract the private sector into places like Weymouth and Portland and Swanage and other rural constituencies so that the private sector can do all the hard work. But it can't do it unless the government creates the infrastructure so that the private sector is attracted. And I'll give you an example. In Weymouth, we have the most attractive harbour, we have a peninsula, and we have a marina. The walls of those facilities have not been touched for 50, 60 years. They are in poor repair, and the Environment Agency will not allow us to regenerate around these areas until the walls have been repaired. This is going to cost millions of pounds, and our bid for the second round of the Levelling Up Fund, a large part of that money will go to repairing these walls. Now, once they've been repaired, then we can regenerate. Once we regenerate, the private sector will come and do all this, and then we'll get the jobs and the investment that we desperately need. So I'm not asking the government on behalf of my constituents for multi-millions of pounds, nice that that would be. What I am asking for is targeted money at a town, Weymouth, a seaside resort, like so many seaside resorts, struggling to cope because the whole change, so many people now on holiday, they go abroad because flying abroad is now so cheap. So resorts like ours, beautiful though they are, fewer people are now going there. And of course we've lost the naval base, the Royal Naval Air Station, the ferry terminal and local government offices. So we need to replace these with other investments from private business. And what I'd like to thank the government for, if I may, is the Dorset Enterprise Zone, which is in Winfrith, not far from Wool. Now that has been a huge success, and with the help from government funding, we've now attracted some very big companies in there. Atlas Electronique, which is a huge company that deals with submarine warfare, that's there now, and the new battle lab, which the Army have put in there, which is generating a huge amount of businesses where local small businesses work together with the MOD to come up with solutions to problems, is proving a huge success. So as I say, this is what we're asking for, some targeted money, please, from the government so that private enterprise will come and invest in South Dorset. And I think the last point I would make, in addition to the government money, is please don't forget us. And I think we've heard that from every speaker in the House so far. We're all constituencies. It's so easy to forget. As we say, there's such a small number of people, in effect, live in them compared to all the rural and other urban areas and the major metropolitan areas in this country. And I think government does tend just to forget that the rural constituencies and the rural areas are just as important and significant. And rurality, and I'm sure you'll hear that from my two Dorset colleagues, is not taken into account. Buses, as if they exist, take longer. People are trapped in their homes. We've heard, I think, from one honourable member where someone was imprisoned in their home because the bus came only once a week. That is not uncommon in Dorset and also in South Dorset. So it's more connectivity, and again, from a right honourable member, we've heard more joined-up thinking for rural communities. I think this is exactly what is needed. So I go back and I conclude on this point. I'm aiming my comments in the main at the levelling up bit level 2. We were category 3. We've now gone to category 2. Can I please urge, in the government's mind, we need to be category 1. And for all the reasons I've explained, we'd be most grateful if, when the round 2 is announced, that we are very definitely in it.
Simon Hall.